what the Lord has done. See what the Lord has done.
Land of Guyana, of rivers and plains, made rich by the sunshine and lush by the rains. Say a gem light and fair between mountains and seas, your children salute you, dear land of the free.
Right hand across your left chest. It's the National Pledge of Guyana. I pledge myself to honor always the flag of Guyana, and to be loyal to my country, to be obedient to the laws of Guyana, to love my fellow citizens, and to dedicate my energies towards the happiness and prosperity of Guyana.
This is Guyana, prosperous with a beautiful future ahead.
Small days is still on my mind. Small days is a good time. Neighbor had some little children. I made the singing and the dancers really admire them. Small days is still on my mind. Small days is a good time. Neighbor had some little children. I made the singing and the dancers really admire them. Yes, they're singing. Ring, ching, ching, ching.
Conga-tea,
I'm in a bag.
conga-tea,
I see for mama.
conga-tea,
The 10 fat chickens.
conga-tea,
I ask she for one.
conga-tea,
And she won't give me one.
conga-tea,
You see that girl there?
conga-tea,
Named Dorothy.
conga-tea,
She fat like a butter.
conga-tea,
And she maggle like a chow.
conga-tea.
Oh, small days is still on my mind. Small days is a good time. Never had some little children. I'm in the singing and the dancers really admire them. What they singing? On your carpet,
You must be
like the roses,
on your knee.
bright and shining.
You must be
And show me the one
love the best.
when I marry.
Give you the ring,
First the girls,
second the boys.
Sunday, Monday.
Afternoon,
We will spend our honeymoon. Oh, small days is still on my mind. Small days is a good time. Neighbor had some little children. I'm gonna singing and the dancers really admire them. Join the singing.
This is Guyana, beautiful as ever.
If you look at a list of every country in the world's economic growth over the last few years, it's not a pretty picture. Thanks to the pandemic, many countries, including the UK, have seen their GDP contract, and those that have grown are usually only a couple of percentage points above their pre-pandemic GDP. However, one country has seen its GDP nearly triple over the past 3 years, making it by far and away the fastest growing economy in the world. And that's the tiny South American country of Guyana. So in this video, we're going to be looking at why Guyana is growing so quickly. Hint, it's a lot to do with oil. Whether it can sustain this level of growth, and some of the geopolitical implications of this change. So, let's start by taking a look at the data. As we mentioned in the intro, global growth has had a rough few years. According to IMF data, in the last 3 years, so 2020, 2021 and 2022, the world economy has grown by a total of 6.1%, which means an annual growth of just under 2%, which is well below the historical average of about 3.5%. And the vast majority of countries are actually seeing far worse growth than they were pre-pandemic. However, one country has bucked the trend, and that's Guyana, which has apparently seen a GDP growth of 180% in the past 3 years. Yep, you heard that right, 180%. That's 150% higher and 8 times the growth of second place Ireland. And it also means that Guyana's GDP has nearly tripled in the past 3 years. For those of you who don't know, Guyana is a tiny country in the northeast of South America, sandwiched between Venezuela and Suriname. Currently, it has a population of about 800,000 people. Its capital is Georgetown, and it's a former British colony. In fact, it's the only English-speaking country in South America. Now, this number is so implausibly massive that you're probably expecting us to tell you here about how this tiny country is run by a crazy despot who just lies about its GDP figures. But no, Guyana really has experienced super rapid growth over the last few years. And just to be clear, their leaders aren't despots either. The country is actually relatively democratic. Anyway, so why is this growth figure so high? Well, the short answer that I teased up front is oil. Since 2015, tons of oil have been discovered off the coast of Guyana, and importantly, it's all within its exclusive economic zone. In fact, since 2015, a third of all newly discovered oil was found in Guyana, and the country now has estimated oil reserves of about 11 billion barrels. For context, that would mean that Guyana has the 17th largest reserves anywhere in the world. And fortunately for them, most of this oil is relatively cheap to access, and Guyana's production capacity is expected to be 1 million barrels per day by 2027, which would easily bring it into the top 20 oil producers in the world. On top of this, it's likely that Guyana will continue to find more oil given its current rate of discovery. Now, most of the initial oil discoveries were made by oil supermajor ExxonMobil in 2015, after about 7 years of searching. But having discovered a whole load of oil, Exxon and a couple of other oil supermajors, including Shell, Total and Hess, have all invested heavily in Guyana. And because investment is a component of GDP, this has also pushed Guyana's sky high. And while this might sound like great news for this tiny South American country, oil doesn't guarantee prosperity. And in fact, there are basically 4 reasons that oil can be actually bad for a country's economy. Firstly, it can make you overly reliant on oil exports. And this isn't just because of oil's lucrative nature. It's also because international demand for oil can make your currency stronger, which makes your other exports less competitive. For example, demand for Guyanese dollars could increase if people want to buy Guyanese oil, which would make Guyana's other exports, like rice and sugar, less competitive, ultimately destroying their other industries and leaving them reliant on oil. Secondly, oil can make the state reliant on oil taxes instead of taxes from the actual population. This means that politicians become less sensitive to the demands of people and more sensitive to the demands of their oil industry, which breeds corruption and poor governance. Thirdly, oil is a boom and bust business. So if your economy is overly reliant on oil, it will suffer from constant instability. Fourthly and finally, oil extraction usually requires foreign investment, because small countries like Guyana don't generally have the local resources or expertise to engage in advanced offshore drilling. This means that they have to rely on foreign supermajors like Exxon, and well, foreign supermajors don't care all that much about Guyana's political or economic stability. This phenomenon, these 4 factors whereby the discovery of oil or some other lucrative resource actually ends up hurting a country's politics and economy, is known as the resource curse, or sometimes simply as the Dutch disease. in reference to a period in the 70s when the discovery of massive natural gas reserves in the Netherlands actually crippled the country's economy. But this resource curse isn't destiny. Some countries, like Norway, have avoided it, but it does happen to most oil-rich countries. So how can Guyana avoid this fate? Well, a state-owned oil company sorted quickly would probably be a good idea. Guyana has already set up a sovereign wealth fund akin to Norway's Norge Bank Investment Management, which is also a good sign. However, perhaps the main thing that Guyana needs to do is improve the quality of its politics. Since independence from the UK in 1966, Guyana has seen fierce political rivalry between two main ethnically based parties. The People's Progressive Party, which is primarily supported by Indo-Guyanese people, and the People's National Congress, supported primarily by the Afro-Guyanese people. Now, these two sides will need to cooperate if they're going to successfully manage Guyana's booming oil industry. But if they can, then Guyana could become the wealthiest country in South America in just a few years. And if they can keep things steady, the IMF expects Guyana to grow by about 25% per year until 2027, which would take its GDP per capita to roughly $35,000, at least quadruple that of its neighbours, and roughly the same as Italy. So, if they play their cards right and they get the economics right, Guyana could have a bright future ahead. The problem is, there's a lot of pitfalls, and as always, the maths
For the future.
10 places to visit in Guyana. Guyana is a country in South America that is located on the continent and is surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean. George is the city's capital, and like any other country, Guyana has its share of interesting spots to visit. This English-speaking country is culturally linked to the Caribbean, with cricket and calypso music. This is the world's third smallest sovereign state on the continent of South America, with a wealth of gorgeous and stunning sights to explore. Grace Media has compiled a list of 10 places to visit in Guyana. Please be sure you subscribe to this channel as we begin the countdown. 10. Shell Beach. Everyone enjoys going to the beach to unwind and get some fresh air. Guyana, like every other country, has a beach where you may cool off from the sun's rays. The most well-known beach in the country is the Shell Beach. If you're not in the mood to swim, that doesn't mean you can't go to this beach. Some people gathered here to see the annual turtle nesting phenomenon. Late March through late August is the best time to observe this. Sea turtles of all kinds and sizes gather to the coast to deposit their eggs during this time. Coming here allows you to witness some of South America's unspoiled coastline, where tiny villages and bamboo huts sprinkle the lagons, and the sand is flanked by untamed stretches of jungle. 9. Parika. Parika is a port town on the Essequibo River's coast with a lot of metal containers, huts, and streets with very bustling and lively transportation. If you want to get the most out of your visit to Parika, don't forget to visit the bustling market. Sunday is always the finest day to pass the time since you get to savor every moment. This town offers incredible resorts that will satisfy all of your burning wants. And when I say all, I mean all of them. I've been here previously, and believe me when I say that the restaurant, pool, bars, and other amenities are all really luxurious, especially considering that this island resort is located in the middle of the Essequibo water. Given that you are a newcomer, I am sure you will be asking how to travel to the resort. Don't worry, you can easily hire a tour guide to take you there. To add, the market here, which is particularly active on Sundays, has whatever good you want because the sellers will go to any length to gratify their customers. To end the day with a good night's sleep, these are good hotels that you will find very comfortable to stay in. 8. Orinduit Falls. The falls provide something very distinct and unusual to the country, and most guests who have been will readily agree. This waterfall originates in the Pacarema Mountains, which are located near Venezuela and west of Guyana. The majority of guests that come in the fall have a more up-close and personal experience by bathing in the plunge pool and traversing the ridges around the site, or by climbing layers and terraces of rock as they go. The Iron River's channels have a plethora of waterfalls along its path. If you don't want to swim, you can go for a walk and wander around in the forest. This location exudes pure evil emotions. 7. Kaieteur National Park. I'm sure hearing about the waterfall will make you feel as if you've arrived. But I'm sorry to deflate your expectations, because this national park is the real deal. This cascades a mind-blowing 226 meters down the Pacoramia Mountains escarpments. While the biodiversity and pristine trees are great draws, the peace resistance is undeniable here. Furthermore, the Siparuni region is a big and costly protected territory that rises and falls with the Guyana Tepui's massive barrier ridges. This national park has so much to offer that it is a must-see destination. This autumn is a true gem tucked deep within the rainforest. This national park has existed for over 1 billion years, yet the scenery remains pure and breathtaking. There are no gates or barriers, but this adds to the mysterious and unspoiled environment. 6. Port Morant. This mountain is close to the Brazilian border and is known to be South America's largest tabletop peak. When you look at it from a larger perspective, it's not just individuals from different continents who have come to visit this location. Brazil is only a short distance away, so you can imagine how busy it can get. The landform's roadways are extremely difficult to navigate, even for the most experienced hikers and cyclists. Despite these hurdles, people nevertheless take the risk and climb this mountain because it contains much beauty to allow the obstacles to be an impediment. This mountain is warm and inviting, and it's also a terrific sight to get a glimpse of Guyana's agricultural core, with a farmer's market selling fresh fruits right from the fields. 5. New Amsterdam. The regional capital of East Berbice-Corentyne has flitted from Dutch masters who held influence over the lowlands plantation since it was formed in the mid-18th century. This town is one of Guyana's largest and is located close to the capital, Georgetown. This town has schools, a hospital, and a port, which is not surprising given that it is a large city, the largest in the state. In New Amsterdam, you can shop or even take a jungle tour. 4. Bartica. This location used to be known as the entrance to the inside. It was a popular stopping point for prospectors and miners on their route to the far-flung gold and mineral dig sites that erupted in bucket loads between the mountain Patero Siparuni in the previous century. Things have changed over the years, and this town is now a thriving center with a lot to offer, particularly to their neighbor Brazil, who has benefited from her for years. 3. Iwakrama Forest. The forest is one of the world's few remaining swaths of pristiner primeval rainforest. This forest is known for its soaring canopies, which may reach heights of 30 meters in some areas. The forest is located in the heart of the country, and the plants are all interconnected and abundant. This is one of the things that has contributed to the uniqueness of this location, making a visit worthwhile. Many animals and plant species with various biological roots live in the forest. There are also enormous armadillos and howler monkeys to be seen here. A waterfall and a mountain stream can also be found in the woodland. Safaris are available across the rope bridge and mud paths from one of the few lodges that have sprung up along the river channel. 2. Linden. The very earliest version of Guyana's culture and heritage can be found here. Minerals and bauxite abound in this town. Tourists who come here are particularly interested in seeing and watching numerous sorts of birds and animals. Linden has a highly rich soil and a lush green forest that is home to a variety of animal species. Thousands of prospectors and miners flock to this tropical location to harvest bauxite from the hills that line the Demerara River. The Linden Museum of Socio-Cultural Heritage in the heart of town chronicles the history and development of this mining past, revealing the progression of the town from a tented outpost in the early 1900s to a mechanized industrial center today, even if many of the shaft mines have since closed. 1. Georgetown. This is Guyana's capital city, which was created in 1781 during the Dutch colonization period, and afterwards came under the jurisdiction of the French and British. Indeed, Georgetown's golden age coincided with the peak of colonial authority in the United States, as its name, named after England's King George III, suggests. Miners, plantation builders, architects, statesmen, and others flocked to Demerara Maheka to help as the city transitioned from Dutch to French to British rule. There are numerous administration and government buildings, as well as hotels, in this area. This town is well known for its calming effects. There is also a beautiful rainforest and an interesting wildlife reserve in this town. The port serves the town's economy, as well as the rest of the country. What good is a capital city if it doesn't have a beach? Beaches, on the other hand, must be accessible. The beach here affords another lovely perspective of the city. Discover Guyana's beating heart with a variety of significant attractions such as the Kaieteur Falls, Iwakrama animals, and savanna culture such as rodeo stories. Be inspired by the natural wonders and unique ecology. Make this country the location of your next vacation. For
Guys,
more
David
interesting
Hoffman here from David's Bin here, coming at you from beautiful Mandripo, Guyana. Today I'm so excited because I'm taking you on a Guyanese food tour in and around Georgetown. We're starting off right here at Sunny and Sweetie Roti Shop at 9 in the morning. Stacy, what are we doing?
We are here. I am so excited for you to taste this food. It's some of the best Creole food in Guyana. They have like saltfish and bake. You're gonna try that. We're gonna have some chicken curry with coconut choker, some provision with saltfish. Man, you're gonna have a ball. You're gonna enjoy it.
Okay,
So
perfect.
let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, I'm starving. Can't wait. All right, Stacy, I'm excited. This looks absolutely amazing. So what do we got?
So these are some of my personal favorite items. Some of them are for breakfast. You can have for lunch. But what we have here, this is pachoni or sheep belly, and it's curried. So we're gonna have that with some roti. This is saltfish and bake.
Okay.
This is, well, we have 3 chokers here. This is the fish choker. So this is really nice. Has some lime juice in there. This is baigan choker, belanje choker. The eggplant, as you know it. And this is our legendary chicken curry and dal and rice with coconut choker.
With coconut choker.
Yeah.
So what's choker?
So choker is basically you take like vegetables, or in this case fish, and you pound it.
So they're pounded.
Yeah, you
okay.
pound it up and you put a lot of seasonings in there.
Fantastic.
So each one of them is made a little differently. Like the baigan choker, you have to roast the eggplant.
Yeah, of course.
You stuff it up with garlic, you put pepper, you put onions, you put shallot, tomatoes, and it's just delicious.
And with the beautiful roti, right?
With the roti.
Look at that huge roti.
Yeah, my mouth is watering for this, man. Which one you want to try first?
I think the bacon saltfish.
Go,
right?
go for it.
So I got this.
This is Georgetown, the capital of Guyana, a tiny South American country that sits right on the edge of that mighty Amazon jungle. Located on the northern edge of South America, this English-speaking nation is made up of thousands of square miles of untamed rivers and dense rainforest. I'm starting my journey on the coast, in the capital city of Georgetown, which boasts an exciting fusion of Caribbean, Indian, and European cultures. Now I'm here to meet super talented Guyanese chef Delvin Adams, who's responsible for putting this somewhat unknown cuisine on the culinary map. Thanks, bud. Good to see you, man. Take care. Right, this is the market. Where is Delvin?
There he is!
There he is.
My man! Good to see you, brother.
You too, buddy.
Welcome to my country.
An absolute pleasure. Chef Delvin Adams is determined to introduce Guyanese cuisine to the world. After honing his culinary skills in the remote jungle cooking for oil drillers, he returned to his home in Georgetown to open the Backyard Cafe, a hotspot that celebrates his country's exciting, one-of-a-kind dishes. When you think about how small the reputation of Guyanese cuisine is on the culinary map,
right?
Yeah, I'm hoping to find the DNA of that.
Well, you're gonna get that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna show you the market area and show you how I do it.
Guyana's warm and tropical climate is year-round, growing an incredible variety of produce, everything from your garden standards. Those cherry tomatoes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Chinese long beans, every household is gonna use this every day.
To heartier root vegetables, one of which forms this starchy basis for much of the country's cuisine.
Cassava. This right here is the essence of what Guyana is all about.
So it's like a root vegetable?
It's a root vegetable. We got some casrib here too. Very unique product made from the bitter cassava, not the sweet cassava. And the bitter cassava has cyanide in it. And this is why you wouldn't see that selling on the marketplace. That can take a herd of elephants down.
Unless processed properly to remove the cyanide poison, bitter cassava can kill. And you're finishing that inside dishes?
And you finish this in our pepper pot, which is a national dish of ours.
Right. Pepper pot is a meat stew created by Guyana's native Amerindian people. And I'm excited to try it. And would it be like a chicken pepper pot, lamb?
No, well, this here is a lava pepper pot.
Lava? So we're talking like a wild boar, like a wild pig?
No, this is a big rodent.
Are you saying it's a rat?
It's a big rodent.
Wow.
Good stuff.
Weighing up to 26 pounds, lava is a dog-sized mammal that lives in the Guyanese jungles. Its meat is a prized delicacy. It's actually quite nice.
Yeah.
It tastes sort of almost like a little suckling pig. It's actually very sweet.
See?
So could you do this with a chicken or a pork? Does it have to be rodent?
Doesn't have to be rodent. You could do this with chicken, pork. This is our pride and joy right here.
A rat?
No, not the rat. The pepper pot.
The pepper pot.
Pepper pot and the casrib.
That was good, by the way. Really good indeed. A nice little start of an insight to this Guyanese cuisine.
So with all of this that I've shown you,
yes,
deep rooted with our Amerindian people.
Right.
The Amerindians are our first people, and we take pride and joy in our first people.
Right. Delvin explains that the origins of Guyanese cooking lie with the Amerindian people. And my mission is to head to the jungle village of Rewa to spend a week immersing myself in their culture.
You're gonna get on the plane, you get in the jungle, hunt fish, and you can learn their ways, and hopefully you learn a whole lot from them.
At the end of the week, Delvin and I will cook for the tribe's chief, who will decide whether I've come to grips with a cuisine that's existed for thousands of years. Right. No pressure.
No pressure.
Failure is not an option. See you at the end of the week, bud.
See you, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Guyana's mega projects aren't just about construction. They're the strokes of brilliance, painting a future that gleams with promise. Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today, we're embarking on an exciting journey to a country that's rapidly emerging on the global stage, Guyana. So keep watching as we will go through all the biggest projects of Guyana that intertwine ambition, innovation, and the inexorable shaping of a future that promises to captivate the world's imagination. Guyana, the fourth smallest country in South America, tucked between Venezuela, Brazil, and Suriname, is a nature lover's paradise with rainforests and rivers that will leave you in awe. But hold on, because Guyana isn't just about the scenery. They're skyrocketing their GDP per capita thanks to booming oil production. With double-digit growth rates projected for 2023 and 2024, this economic growth isn't luck. It's their hard work paying off. Some of the biggest projects in Guyana are just a taste of the bright future they're carving out for themselves. Hydroelectric projects. Instead of relying solely on traditional energy sources, Guyana has tapped into the power of its abundant water resources to create some serious clean energy magic. Now, you might wonder, why go for hydroelectric power? Well, not only does it give us a more sustainable option, but it also brings a whole bunch of benefits to the table. Think about it. It's like Mother Nature's way of providing us with renewable energy. Doesn't harm the environments as much, won't break the bank, and can be adjusted as needed. One shining example is the Moko Moko hydropower station down in southern Rupununi. Since 1999, it's been generating a solid 2.2 megawatts, giving the local community a boost while keeping things green. Utilizing Kaieteur Falls power, Kaieteur Hydroelectric Project is another initiative that aims to reduce Guyana's carbon footprint by generating substantial electricity. Nature's beauty meets sustainable energy. Now that's a combo we can get behind. Oh, And hold on tight because Guyana's got big plans. They're eyeing not one, but 2 more hydropower plants. Amela Falls and another is still a mystery. Amela Falls could produce 165 megawatts, aiding the shift from non-renewables despite negotiation and environmental challenges. And let's not forget about the Currabong River hydroelectric project. Holding hydroelectric potential in the Pitaro-Siparuni region definitely showcases Guyana's commitment to renewables. These projects are like badges of honor, showing the world that Guyana is dead serious about cutting emissions, boosting the economy, and taking meaningful steps toward battling climate change. As they make their mark on the global clean energy stage, we're all cheering them on. Go Guyana! Ogle International Airport expansion. In 2023, Ogle Airport handled 50,000 passengers and 1,800 tons of cargo annually. But by March 2007, it transformed into a full-blown international airport, complete with all the fancy upgrades you can imagine: customs, immigration, air traffic control, and even firefighting services. By 2009, Ogle Airport gained Port of Entry certification and flaunted its brand new 2,000-foot Class 1A concrete runway operating under visual flight rules. Fast forward a bit and boom, it evolved into Guyana's main hub for domestic air travel, connecting Georgetown and the hinterland. The airport plans to serve international, regional, and domestic routes, accommodating aircraft like the Dash 8 300 series. Future developments include a Category 2C runway, taxiway, and terminal building. They even made it official that they're an international port of entry since 2009. In 2019, a $70 million helicopter taxiway was added for the oil and gas industry. And let's not forget about their under-construction $50 million AC Marriott Hotel on Airport Road, and that project is expected to generate 400 jobs by late 2024. But the excitement isn't just about buildings and runways. By increasing flight capacity, they're on a mission to attract airlines, thrill-seeking adventurers, and nature-loving eco-tourists. It's not just about planes taking off. It's about economic growth soaring high and job opportunities spreading their wings. Plus, it's making Guyana a real hotspot for commerce and trade, fitting in perfectly with the nation's big goals for development. Infrastructure and road projects. Guyana's remarkable growth also includes a series of ambitious infrastructure and road projects that have significantly changed its landscape, particularly in coastal areas. These projects have not only supported new housing developments, but also improved travel for commuters. In 2022, the government of Guyana constructed over 180 bridges and around 1,651 kilometers of roads, connecting coastlines and hinterlands. By the end of 2022, 351 bridges were erected countrywide, and from 2020 to 2022, more than 3,670 kilometers of roads were built and maintained. The 2023 budget reflects substantial increases in funding for vital upgrades like roads, bridges, housing, and power generation. In 2019, $11.8 billion was allocated for roads and bridges compared to the 2023 budget, which allocated $131.5 billion. Similarly, housing development saw a rise from less than $1 billion in 2019 to $53.1 billion in the 2023 budget. These initiatives are definitely transforming dirt paths into modern highways, enhancing regional connectivity, boosting trade, tourism, and making Guyana a thriving economic hub. Deepwater Harbor Development. Guyana's upcoming Deepwater Harbor in the east is another significant mega project. It will host large cargo ships and support the thriving oil and gas industry. The port will also handle agricultural exports, especially rice and sugarcane. Located on 30 acres near Crab Island along the Berbice River's east bank, part of this awesome land is being dedicated to a mangrove habitat study area. The UAE-funded project includes a local training institute, creating jobs left and right and giving the underdeveloped region the boost it's been waiting for. It's like a construction symphony that kicked off in 2021, aiming for the grand opening around 2024. This advanced harbor is strategically positioned to become a regional trade center, reshaping Guyana's maritime landscape and boosting global trade. Agriculture and agro-processing initiatives. Guyana's agricultural sector contributes significantly to its economy and employment, making up about 1/3 of the GDP and 30% of jobs. While established industries like sugar and rice remain important, agro-processing exports have doubled over the last 5 years. Many small and medium-sized Guyanese agro-processors have been enhancing their products, introducing innovation and improving packaging. Notable additions include products like Instant Cook-Up by Taz Foods, Pepper Pot in a Box by Ashdell's, and Only Coconut by Precision Global. That's not all. Guyana is practically modernizing traditional farming with precision agricultural techs like satellites, drones, and data analytics, boosting yields. They are investing in seed improvement and genetic modification for better crop quality and productivity. These efforts not only decrease import dependency, ensuring local, high-quality food supply, but also generate rural employment. No doubt, Guyana has positioned itself as a contender in global agriculture, promoting sustainability and resilience. Ecotourism and conservation projects. When it comes to tourism, Guyana shows its commitment to responsible travel that fuels environmental stewardship, uplifts local communities, and enriches your soul. Imagine exploring untamed landscapes while leaving a positive impact. That's the essence of ecotourism in Guyana, where your wanderlust becomes a catalyst for change. In Guyana, conservation isn't a buzzword, it's a way of life. Guyana is progressively embracing environmental consciousness and has established protected areas like Kaieteur National Park, Iwakrama Forest, Kanuku Mountains, and Shell Beach. These aren't just places, they're promises to protect, cherish, and let nature thrive. At the heart of this conservation tapestry lies Iwakrama Forest, nurtured by the Iwakrama International Center for Rainforest Conservation. Here, research, sustainable forestry, and ecotourism blend seamlessly, creating a symphony where nature and economics thrive simultaneously. But the magic extends beyond the forest edge. Indigenous communities have embraced the call, weaving their traditions into the fabric of ecotourism. Through their initiatives, they share not just the beauty of their land, but also the soul of their heritage. The Guyana Tourism Authority is your guide to green tourism certification, a badge of honor for eco-conscious travelers. It benefits both the environment and the local economy. The country's rich avian diversity attracts birdwatchers and wildlife enthusiasts. Overall, these initiatives create a cycle. Ecotourism supports conservation, which in turn enhances ecotourism's appeal, resulting in mutually beneficial outcomes for the environment and local communities. In Guyana, every adventure is a promise, and every experience adds to the legacy of a greener, brighter future. Guyana landed in the global sustainability spotlight overnight when the country was named the #1 best of ecotourism destination in the world at the Sustainable Top 100 Destination Awards in Berlin. Artificial Island Project in Guyana. Artificial islands are the best solution to the growing problem of land scarcity around the world. They not only tackle the issue effectively, but also provide unique opportunities for nature conservation and ecological habitat. On behalf of U.S. oil giant ExxonMobil, Belgian company Jan de Nul, together with partners, is boldly leading the charge. They are building an enchanting artificial island just off the shores of vibrant Guyana in South America. Vreed and Hoop Shorebase Incorporated clinched a $300 million deal with ExxonMobil Guyana spanning 2 decades. This collaboration, aimed at servicing ExxonMobil's Yellowtail well and future endeavors, adds yet another chapter to the region's rich oil industry. And it's not just the oil and gas sector that stands to gain. The facility will become a bustling hub for diverse industries seeking a reliable port. Tied to the mainland by a road, the artificial island's first phase will be completed in December 2023. The journey began in June 2022 with ambitious dredging efforts, crafting a new channel and expanding the existing nautical pathways. Phase 2, concluding by April 2024, completes the grand picture. Spanning 44 acres, this island gem will merge seamlessly with Vreed and Hoop on the west bank of Demerara. As this island takes shape, it not only addresses land shortage, but also kindles the flames of possibility, casting ripples of positive impact that extend far beyond its shores and into the heart of Guyana's growth story. challenges and opportunities. Of course, every journey comes with its share of challenges and opportunities. As Guyana sets its sights on a brighter future, it must navigate concerns like environmental preservation and ensure that the benefits of these projects are shared equitably among its citizens. Balancing growth with sustainable practices is undoubtedly a tightrope walk. However, the potential benefits are immense. Mega projects are opening doors to economic growth, improved infrastructure, and enhanced quality of life for Guyanese citizens. They're not just about concrete and steel. They're about shaping a prosperous tomorrow. Indeed, Guyana's mega projects are carving out a path toward a brighter future. As these initiatives unfold, let's stay engaged, informed, and excited about the transformative impact they'll have on this stunning nation. The journey to progress is a collective effort, and you, yes, you can be a part of it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more captivating content. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and keep exploring the incredible world around us. Take care and see you in the next video.
Small days is still on my mind. Small days is a good time. Neighbor had some little children. I'm in the singing and the dancers really admire them. Small days is still on my mind. Small days is a good time. My neighbor had some little children. I'm in the singing and the dancers really admire them. Yes, they're singing. Ring, ching, ching, ching. I'm in a bar. I see for mama. The 10 fat chickens. And I ask you for one. And she won't give me one. You see that garden? Named Dorothy. She fat like a butter. And she maggle like a chow. Oh, small days is still on my mind. Small days is a good time. Never had some little children. I'm in the singing and the dancers really admire them. What they're singing? On your carpet, you must be like the roses on your knee, bright and shining. You must be, and show me the one. Love the best. When I marry, I give you the ring. First the girls, second the boys. Sunday, Monday, afternoon, we will spend our honeymoon. Oh, small days is still on my mind. Small days is a good time. Neighbor had some little children. I'm gonna singing and the dancers really admire them. Join the singing. Old man house on fire. The old man ran away. He ran for the police to get the water. He hung the fire down the escalator. Shoo, shoo, shoo. Escalator, shoo, shoo, shoo. And a wipes the lady face. The lady wipes the lady face. And she fell down, and she fell down, and she fell in the ocean too. Oh, small days is still on my mind. Small days is a good time. Neighbor had some little children. I'm in the singing and the dancers really admire them. Hear them singing? Children, children. Yes, mama. Where you been? Grandmama. What she give you? Bread and cheese. Where is mine? On the shelf. How me go get up? I'm on the chair. So what's it called? Peanut cake. Bad picnic. Peanut cake. Wicked picnic. Peanut cake. Oh, small days is still on my mind. Small days is a good time. Neighbor had some little children. I'm in the singing and the dancers really admire them. I'm in the singing and the dancers really admire them. I'm in the singing and the dancers really admire them.
JMK, that she take nobody like she. JMK, that she take nobody like she. Run a go polka dam something, rock away, run a polka dam. Run a polka dam something, rock away, run a polka dam. Jane and Jane, and she take nobody like she. Jane and Jane, and she take nobody like she. Run a polka dam something, rock away, run a polka dam. Run a polka dam something, rock away, run a polka dam. Jane and Jane, and she rocks her body with high. Jane and Jane, and she rocks her body with high. Run a polka dam something, rock away, run a polka dam. Run a polka dam something, rock away, run a polka dam. Jane and Jane, and she walk up in it with style. Jane and Jane, and she walk up in it with style. Run a polka dam something, rock away, run a polka dam. Run a polka dam something, rock away, run a polka dam. Jane and Jane, and the village fire run wild. Jane and Jane, and the village fire run wild. Run a polka dam something, rock away, run a polka dam. Run a polka dam something, rock away, run a polka dam. Jane and Jane, and she take nobody like she. Jane and Jane, and she take nobody like she. Run a polka dam something, rock away, run a polka dam. Run a polka dam something, rock away, run a polka dam. Jane and Jane, and she take nobody like she. Jane and Jane, and she take nobody like she. Run a polka dam something, rock away, run a polka dam. Run a polka dam something, rock away, run a polka dam. Run a polka dam something, rock away, run a polka dam. Run a polka dam something, rock away, run a polka dam. Run a polka dam something, rock away, run a polka dam. Run a polka dam something, rock away, run a polka dam. Daimodio, daimodila, daimodio, daimodila, daimodio, daimodila. Gotta rock up your daimodi, daimodio, daimodila, daimodio, daimodila, daimodio, daimodila. Gotta rock up your daimodi.
Oh, not a fork on the table, not a spoon on the table, not a towel to wipe me hand. Gala going to broke up your daimodi.
Daimodio, daimodila, daimodio, daimodila, daimodio, daimodila. Gotta rock up your daimodi, daimodio, daimodila, daimodio, daimodila, daimodio, daimodila. Gotta rock up your daimodi.
Not a plate on the table, not a sauce upon the table, not a towel to wipe me hand. Gala going to broke up your daimodi.
Daimodio, daimodila, daimodio, daimodila, daimodio, daimodila. Gotta rock up your daimodi. Daimodio, daimodila, daimodio, daimodila, daimodio, daimodila. Gotta rock up your daimodi. Daimodio, daimodila, daimodio, daimodila, daimodio, daimodila. Gotta rock up your daimodi. Daimodio, daimodila, daimodio, daimodila, daimodio, daimodila. Gotta Gyal gonna broke up your daimodi.
Not a spoon pon the table, not a fork pon the table, not a plate pon the table. Gyal a gonna broke up me daimodi.
Daimodi, oh daimodi lad. Daimodi, oh daimodi lad. Daimodi, oh daimodi lad. Gyal gonna broke up your daimodi. Daimodi, oh daimodi lad. Daimodi, oh daimodi lad. Daimodi, oh daimodi lad. Gyal gonna broke up your daimodi. Daimodi, oh daimodi lad. Daimodi, oh daimodi lad. Daimodi, oh daimodi lad. Gyal gonna broke up your daimodi. Daimodi, oh daimodi lad. Daimodi, oh daimodi lad. Daimodi, oh daimodi lad. Gyal gonna broke up your daimodi.